Let's explore a powerful feature in Power BI, that is clustering. What if your data could automatically group itself into meaningful segments? That's exactly what clustering does. So what's a clustering? Clustering is a technique that groups similar data points together based on numerical similarities while keeping different groups separate. It is important to note this is not the same as manual grouping. This is AI driven segmentation. Power BI uses an algorithm called K-means clustering. Here's what it does. It looks at numerical data, finds central points called cluster centers, and assigns each data point to the nearest cluster. The goal is to minimize the distance between points in their cluster. Behind the scenes, data points are analyzed, groups are created, and clusters are optimized automatically. So instead of guessing patterns, Power BI calculates them for you. Let's see how to use it. Start with a scatter plot. Click on the three dots, the ellipsis menu. Select automatically find clusters, and Power BI will instantly generate the clusters. Results. Once clustering is applied, each cluster gets a different color. A legend is automatically created and your visual becomes much more insightful. Now you can clearly see the patterns. Here's something important. Power BI creates a new cluster field. It's added to your data model and stored as a column. This means you can reuse the clusters across the visuals. You're not limited to default settings. You can edit the clusters, change the numbers of clusters, and rerun the algorithm. This helps you refine your analysis. Keep this in mind. Clustering depends on your data quality. Results change based on parameters. You may need to rerun it after updates. So always experiment with different settings. Where can you use the clustering? Into customer segmentation, sales pattern analysis, behavior tracking. It's widely used in business analytics. So here's the key takeaway. Clustering helps discover hidden patterns. It's an AI driven and automatic and extremely powerful for insights. If you want deeper analysis, this must be a feature to use for. Now we have seen what is a cluster. And now we'll see like the practical example how that is kind of used into our reports. Okay. So here this is like the average temperature as a high and low, and it has this rate range as well. So now with the visual selected, we'll choose from the ellipse menu. Okay, we'll just select this visual and we'll choose from the ellipse menu, and we'll see here automatically find the clusters. Okay, so So now let's run the clustering algorithm for a first iteration and this state, and we'll just say it as okay. Okay. And we'll see what are the results that we got. Okay. The algorithm runs and then adds the clusters okay to our existing scatter plot. We see it adds the legends fields to our visual. You can see that here. Okay. And denoted as the date for the clusters. It also adds that fill to the visuals, as you can see on the top corner, and assigns each color a cluster. Adding a cluster to this visual is the same as adding a legend fill to a scatter plot. Power BI also automatically add new cluster field to our dates table. You can see it here that it has added a new cluster field to our dates table. We can use this field as we would utilize any other field. into in our model. It appears as a column rather than a measure though. Okay, so we want to be careful about the filter context and that we apply it to. Once we create our clusters, any new data or changes to it will need to be rerun by editing the new cluster field or deleting it and then adding it again. To edit a cluster, let's choose this field and we'll select to edit and we'll select edit cluster. So now we can see that given how many clusters we have, like around 7, they automatically assigned to the data points when it ran the algorithm on the scatter plot. We see how many items are assigned to each cluster, like here. Okay, so these are the items that are assigned to each of this cluster. So we can also see because the algorithm optimizes the total minimized distance as between each data points and each one of this cluster centers. So we are looking only at the total distance and we are not evenly distributing these items. So between the clusters. Let's change our number of clusters to 3 and rerun the algorithm with the same data points in a scatter plot. Okay. So now because here there is a like 7 that clusters are there, we'll just rename it to 3. We'll see, and when we are rerunning it, this get automatically optimized, like denoting the 3 clusters of data. They match as cooler, warmer, and hot temperatures now, so that we can hover over the data points to get an idea what month they occurred in. So if we are hovering over here, we can see like the date or the month when they like appeared. Okay, so this is like for the lower temperature, and as it goes, this is for the highest one. Okay, so if we filter our data to only a selected city, maybe, and then we will be only able to see it for that particular one. So if we are going to just select for this Houston Intercontinental Airport, it is going to show us the like the cluster for this for that particular city into this 3 clusters that we have selected. Okay. Similarly, if we are only selecting for Houston Villia, similar data will appear depending on it. And if we are going for Galveston, okay, and then data will automatically be updated as per the city and we'll get this points. Okay, so this is also one feature that can be used, and if we directly want it to be like selected for only for the say for the east region, then we will be able to see it directly for that particular one. Okay, rather than, so if I'm just selecting Houston, I will be getting for both of the cities. We see that the cluster labels remains the same and they kind of overlap a little bit more. Okay, in order to adjust for this, we would need to rerun a clustering algorithm because we have assigned the cluster and not to the city in this case. We want to apply any filters to our visual, then before applying the clustering algorithm to it. So scatter plots only let us visible between two measures or aggregates. Okay. So we calculate cluster with 3 or more dimensions in the aggregated data. If we run a clustering algorithm on a table visual, let's run our, so we have this table here and let's run our algorithm onto this table visual containing all the temperatures for each of the station and each state along with the rainfall it has and 3 temperatures measurement. Okay. So we'll see what happens. We get this error kind of like this, like clustering supports one dimensions and 1 to 15 measures. Please adjust the fields you are using accordingly and try again. Okay. So let's close this out and we can remove the name field. So we need only one dimension. Okay. And then we'll average the rest of this matrix. Okay. So what we'll do is we'll remove this and here we'll just give this as an average. So we have this in the correct way. And I'll just average this rainfall as well. And now let's try to find the clusters. Okay, if you're getting okay. So now you can see here's in a table, there's a column is added for the algorithm. There's a new column to our table visual, like cluster 2 is there. Then as we go down, there's a cluster 1. Okay, two of these clusters we have got another field. So we'll now let's explore a more complex clustering in the scatter plot visual with the average temperature. Okay, plot visualizing the average temperature versus electricity demand by date. Let's first filter out the blanks of our values. Okay, we'll just filter this out from here. Just select this and is not blank. Okay, and we'll say apply. Okay, and here into like basic filtering. Okay, from here we are going to select the advanced filtering and let's filter out the blanks of our values as well and is not blank. Okay, and we just try to and demand also we'll just see it here and is not blank. Say apply. Okay, and now we'll then add the clusters to the visual. Now we'll just add the clusters to this particular visual. Okay, say okay. But here what we can do is so between so as you can see, it has like converted this into two clusters, right? There is like cluster 2 and this is the cluster 1. This is the average temperature as per the demand by date and date. Okay. So hope you guys have understood what does the clustering do. Like we can like analyze the data as per the needs, as per the kind of making it into the clusters and then just kind of analyzing it out. So this is how the basic clustering works. So hope you